Welcome back. So I thought I'd do this one a little bit more in line with the readings that I would do for a personal reading. All my readings are confidential and private, but I have started doing, instead of the audio recordings, I've started doing them in video so that people can actually feel like they're talking with me from anywhere in the world. I don't know, it just seems a little bit more personal. They're always by donation, so if you're looking for some personal answers, I'm more than happy to help you. But this is for the collective. I don't want to say for the collective necessarily. I feel like there's some specific individuals out there that need this message. It might not resonate with you. Another one might. I'm going to break this reading up. Will be broken up into 3 videos because there's 3 components to my readings when I do them privately as well. First, I work with a traditional tarot deck, this one here. All of my pulls are just very much, I put 0 thought into it, and I like it that way. So we're going to go ahead and work with these first, and then we'll work into the next section. All of the components are right in front of you. When I pull 5, I do this in like an elemental. So I start as a foundation card in my earth center there. And we're pulling up the Wheel of Fortune. It's time. We're shifting. We're moving. Finally feels like we're freed from stagnation. It kind of felt like we were stuck. I felt very stuck for a while. Like nothing was moving and I could not figure it out. And I started to take stock of things, and I recognized that there was some clutter, and I started to clear some clutter out. And as I cleared the clutter, my brain was working through things. And as my brain worked things, I started to bring things to the forefront that I was supposed to be working on, and I had said I was going to do, and I didn't complete. And I realized that it wasn't just my house that had some clutter and needed to be cleared out, but it was my brain too. My to-do list too, and my social media too, and then some people I was interacting with too. Not necessarily conducive to moving forward. Yeah, you're spending a lot of time with people who aren't interested in goals or progressing or accomplishments. They're just kind of doing their own thing right now. That's their soul mission. We love them, and it's fun to take a break with these people, and let our souls rest too. But you right now are trying to accomplish something. You have goals. You recognized back here that there was something that was making you unhappy, and you had to do something about it, and nobody was going to fix that for you. It probably sounded a little bit ooh to other people. They were like, what? Maybe it came out of left field for them. But for you, it's always made sense. The idea now is that rather than waiting for things to start moving for you, you started pushing. You started taking tiny little steps. And it's kind of like, on those giant human hamster wheels, the first step is not going to really move the wheel. The second step moves it just a tiny bit, and the third step starts to push it, and then it starts to go. The first step is the hardest step. The next one's a little bit easier, and then the third one feels a little bit easier, and then the fourth one starts to, and then it just becomes a pattern of one foot after the next. That's how we get the Wheel of Fortune to turn. Now we can talk about like astrology and divine timing, and yeah, sure, yeah. All of that applies too, and in different times, in different lives, in different situations, that'll matter, and we'll address that then. Right now, Spirit is saying that you are the reason that it has started to push forward. And that's where we're beginning. The goal, the fire position, already somebody's here trying to reap the rewards, being a little too impatient about getting to the end. Baby. good things take time to grow. If you want the fruit to be sweet, give it a minute. Just give it a minute. Let it grow. And for that matter, don't let people all see your fruit tree quite yet. Don't let them know you're planning on baking some pies quite yet. They don't, some of them might want to come and, spray some pesticide on your trees. Don't tell them. You don't have to keep everything a secret. It's not about being a secret. It's just about choosing who you talk a lot about to, and in depth to. Spirit's telling me that you have some folks in your energy, in your circle, that they're not necessarily toxic, but they're just not doing nothing with their lives. Wheel of Fortune. They're fun to hang out with, but we also know that they are using more energy from us than they're really contributing. They don't really necessarily have positive things to talk about, or maybe they always need help. They always need help. Everything is what they can accomplish. Oh, we love them. But you got a lot coming forward for you, babe. This is big. So we want to work on that. Getting all up in your Empress energy. That's right. Yes. That femininity. We want to find balance. Like, balance is super important, but also we have to recognize that nurturing and loving and enjoying, attention to the details and the little things, they really make life taste good, right? You have to be comfortable taking your time and tasting all of the deliciousness life has to offer you. It's not all go, 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 business, business, business. It smells good. That's pretty. I love the sound of that. Spirit wants you to slow down, take it all in, and really embrace it. You're going to really like this. It's coming. It's yours, and nothing is going to take this from you. This is in our air position, so these things come to pass. It's not about a choice. It's coming. And you get to fully embrace all of that feminine energy. We're ready. Some of us have an actual daddy coming in here in this energy. This is a choice. This is not going to reflect another outside individual for all of us. For some of us, this is execution. This is, I planned, I prepared, I took my time, I put that work in, I'm ready. I am savoring all of it. And now I execute perfectly with the exact energy that it requires. Rock solid. No wavering. No hesitation. Walk into a room, dead silent, and everybody looks at you. You don't have to say a word. They feel you walking into that room. That is only if you're ready for it. You have to be so ready to own this. You can't, I don't know. My ideas maybe aren't that great. Look at him. Now, I love me some of this energy. I'm a Queen of Pentacles, so this solid, gonna get it done. Get the job done. This is a message from Spirit for you to quit playing around and handle that. The advice card. let it go. Everything that is no longer yours, you've been hanging on to, you've been waiting around for, it's been sitting there. Clean it out. Ew. Get it out of there. It's not to say that things don't, make you feel sad when we have to say goodbye to them. But what is grief? Grief is an opportunity for you to appreciate something that you felt immensely for, that you loved deeply. An appreciation for experience, an appreciation for the time, an appreciation for the lessons, for the emotional growth that you had with that. Grief is not bad. It's simply saying hello and making space for brand new. When things get dusty, dingy, and start rotting away and they leave them there, they kind of stink up the place. And then, you can't exactly move something new in. So many people see this card and get so nervous. The death card, oh no. No, it's the Tower card that you should worry about. And even then, no, don't worry about that either, because that just means you get to rebuild. That's fun. Clean up the mess. Say goodbye to things that don't fit you anymore. Say goodbye to, that was almost bad. Say goodbye to the energy that is pulling and not contributing. We need balance. There's ups and downs. It's going to go in a cycle. So if we're holding on to this, we're weighing down this. It's going to take us longer to get to this. We're not fully doing this. We're never going to understand this. All because we're afraid of this? No. Keep it moving. You have friends that are frustrated with you right now. I feel like I'm speaking to myself too. I'm not always a great friend, and it's because I get a little bit caught up in my own things, get up in my own head, get up into my own space. But I've started to recognize that when I do that, I feel extremely disconnected from things that matter to me, people that I care about tremendously. So somebody keeps popping in your head, maybe you see them pop up on your social media feed and you're not checking in with them privately, go do that. Go do that today. Do it today. And this is right along, we're going to keep talking about this. You had a little bit of a conflict with them, and that's why you pulled back. I mean, I feel that because there's some times that I'm dealing so much with my own energy and my own space. Somebody else keeps coming at me with their energy and their space, and I just can't. I can't deal with all of that, and they're not recognizing that I need that space. And so I just, rather than deal with it, I just pull back. That can create some problems. That's a conflict that you're avoiding. You have not made that phone call. You've not sent that text messages. You've not sent that DM. Maybe you owe an apology, or maybe they owe you an apology. It doesn't matter. Karmic relationships don't necessarily need a full cyclical ending. They don't necessarily need you to completely nick it, and put a timestamp on it, and all of that. There are lessons and there are growth opportunities here, though. And one of the things that I've recognized is that, especially when it comes to this stuff, even if there isn't a future for that, If there's things that were left unsaid, whether you want to continue that relationship or not, take the opportunity to close that cycle out properly, and stick to your boundaries, respect their boundaries, use the kind of communication that can't be misconstrued, be very clear, be very compassionate, loving, speak it to yourself, speak it in the mirror like you're saying it to them. But if you need to get something out, I feel like somebody just left things unsaid. We can't do that. It's time for that growth cycle to occur. Boop. We're going to go ahead and move into something brand new. That's why we're closing cycles out. It's time to move into the next phase of things, move into the next part of the cycle. We're moving into our fortune. We're trying to obtain our harvest. We're feeling all of our feminine energy. We're balancing it with our masculine energy, being in charge of ourselves, directing, focused, execution. If it doesn't fit here anymore, we're gonna do some cleanup, because that's what we make space for. And we make opportunity to make good on all of our growth. And if we don't take the time to make good on all of our growth, what is the point? We're just going cycling and cycling and cycling. But understanding these cycles, understanding why it is that you were grieving that loss, understanding why that cycle came to an end, understanding why that doesn't fit you anymore, why there's no room for that in your life anymore, understanding how to say goodbye and why it's important to say goodbye and let things go, that the past is the past, today is today. I am the product of the past, but I am not the past. I am here right now, and that is all that I am. I'm not out there in the future either. I'm right here, right now, in the present, just me, as I am. The culmination of this and the beginning of this. That is when we really truly start to understand what really matters in life. That moment of recognition, that moment of compassion for yourself to go, right now, I am exactly who I am supposed to be. I am exactly where I am supposed to be. I haven't made any mistakes. They've all been lessons. And if I hadn't done all of that, I wouldn't be who I am today. So I'm not a mistake. Therefore, I've not made mistakes. I've only learned lessons. And I don't know what comes next. I know that I have a plan and I want to execute it. And I've learned my strengths and my weaknesses. And I've set myself up for success, my version of success, the way that I see success. I've not let these other influences hit me. And now I know what I need to do to really accomplish so much. And I know that I'm not going to always be happy. Sometimes it's going to get hard. And sometimes I might have sad days. Especially if you have hormonal cycles that are a little more fluctuating than others. So that is understanding. That is enlightenment. There is true peace in that doesn't really come in any other way. I feel like I want to bring from here. Spirit wants you to spend some time focused on your temple. So your temple is going to be everything from you, your space, your emotional and mental energy. Spirit wants you to start recognizing yourself as a divine being, absolutely perfectly executing your mission here on Earth. Good job. You're doing it. And what a cool opportunity to be here doing it. Like, we're alive here with all these other people doing all this stuff. Like, that's even possible? What a gift that is. We don't want to forget where this all comes from. Spirit wants you to sit down and feel gratitude for the sacred life that you have built, for the sacred space that contains your energy, that allows you to cultivate and curate it within before you take it out into the world. But the world is our temple as well. And when we are out in the world, every being is sacred. And they are in their sacred space. And when we start to honor and recognize each of these individuals on their sacred journey, in their sacred space, as a temple, as a vessel for spirit, it doesn't leave a bunch of room for us to become tolerant, because tolerance for ignorance is not a part of this. It's when we're discussing other individuals who respect and honor life in that same way, you demonstrate for them by example of what it means to honor and revere others in their space. There's really no other way to demonstrate for other people these important methods. We can't force people to see things or recognize or understand these greater concepts. But when we come into contact with them, when we are out in the world, when we consider ourselves sacred beings and our bodies temples, and we treat it as such, we don't allow it to become defiled by these things. And instead, we become this example, and we are the reflection that people will see. They'll look at us and see a reflection of what it is that they truly are. And if that makes them uncomfortable, it's because they're not truly living up to that. And that's something that they go home with, and it eats at them, and eventually, hopefully, and for a lot of people, it does eventually start to help them recognize within themselves. But either way, you're honoring their path by honoring your path, by honoring your goodness and your sacred energy. And we want to continue on that. I'm going to pull this one more, the crone. So we have, we want to look for some mentorship. And it feels Spirit is calling us to look for mentorship within the feminine energy. We're looking for some individuals who have spent a great deal of time and experience in this world. They've endured, however, they have endured difficulties and hardships. They have raised children. They have raised adults. They have allowed the world to age them, but not damage them. They allow it to become a part of who they are without it destroying them. And in doing so, the crone becomes this kind of a sage, a compassionate sage, the wise elder, that can show you a perspective that isn't necessarily easy for every individual to see. So whether you're seeking outside your circle into a larger community of individuals where you can reach some of this crone energy, or you yourself are crone energy and you're embracing that, or you have it within your own family. There's some energy there, some wisdom there, some guidance there that Spirit wants you to take under your wing and hold it close to your heart. And this is the message that's being imparted to you. That's it for today. I'm going to wrap it up, and if any of this resonated with you, I would love to hear from you. If you are interested in a personal and private reading, I can do this for you as well. Currently, all of my readings are by donation because I believe that there are individuals who need guidance and might not have the financial means. But there are other things that can be done in exchange, in energy exchange, and I'm always open to that. So you're more than welcome to reach out to me in any way that you feel comfortable doing so. And I hope that you are having a blessed day, and I hope to hear from you soon. And much love.